Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Relegations Week 1. Myself and Diem Brennan will be bringing you the action from this one. We've got Epiphany Bolt, I should say, up against orKs.
You were going to say gaming.
I was going to say Epiphany Gaming.
I heard you start that.
And I was like, I remember that name, Epiphany Gaming, but Epiphany Bolt is the team. And Epiphany Bolt has DeathPanter on it, who was on Wasted Talent, used to play solo. I believe he's playing support this game. I don't know much about eSports, though.
But it's good to be back. It's been about a month
It's
for
been
us.
ages.
It's been about a month. We've done a little bit of traveling around.
I haven't.
Oh, no?
No, I just
You're stuck here.
I'm stuck.
He's completely stuck.
Forever.
But we have relegations. There's a lot on the line this split. And the first step for a lot of these teams to even getting to compete to that point is to compete to even get in.
Exactly, and that's a big key of what the Relegations Week 1 is. The winners get a chance to take on the guys who won the Challenger Cup in the fall split and the guys who finished second there as well. And then the winners of that will face for the relegation spot as well.
There's a lot of new teams, a lot of new players, a lot of newly formed talents, but, I mean, they're still the same faces. We're going to see a lot of people that we're very familiar with, but not in this game.
Not in this game, but I think the big thing to note is a lot of these names you won't recognize unless you play ranked, is the big point here. Or play in Europe, and also you play in some of the other tournaments, like the EGL tournaments over in Europe as well. You'll probably recognize some of the names then. So we'll see how these teams work out and who the stars are to watch going forward.
First game that we'll be casting today, again, is going to be Epiphany Bolt versus the orKs. P's and B's ready to go. Let's jump right in.
The orKs? What kind of name is that?
You never watched Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, but...
It's those guys.
Okay, well...
Like the people who played the orKs in the movie. That's who it is.
Oh, okay.
They're all actors.
Well, we're in game. Epiphany Bolt will be first pick, first ban. Don't forget, though, Diem, we got 4 bans now.
That's right. So we'll be doing 2 on each side in the beginning, 3 picks for each of them after, and then, of course, 2 more bans into 2 more picks.
Not a shock to see it's Athena taken off the table immediately and Khepri in response as well. 2 of the biggest supports at the moment in the meta.
So this is already bad for orKs. By Epiphany Bolt starting off the way they have... Oh, no. Okay, I thought they were going to leave Ao Kuang open,
for themselves,
forcing the Ao Kuang
So
Robin
what do you expect
pick.
them they're looking for then if they're leaving that? They're looking for Robin?
It's got to be Robin. I mean, he's the best character in the game. Yeah, second pick has to take him away. With that, Geb's still open. Tyr, Vamana, Kali, Ao Kuang, of course, already banned.
Do you want to take Tyr of Vamana so early, though, before you see what you're going to be against?
No, man, Tyr of Vamana
doesn't matter?
right now.
Well, it is Europe, and we're going to see Sol locked in. Sol has been very highly contested, but me and you, we don't really feel like she's ban-worthy.
I think she's second ban phase
I can feel that too.
But I definitely think she's a little bit overrated right now. Since the loss of her ability to proc Polynomicon from Stellar Burst, I feel like she's lost a big chunk of her damage, but she still is very safe. Geb, to me, is a character that probably should have been picked a little bit earlier in lieu. Chiron, probably my favorite ADC right now.
Now, do you expect we'll see Sol in the Hunter role, or will we see her go towards the middle lane here?
I think either one's possible. She's not bad in the regard of a flex pick. Still very surprised to see her picked first.
When we saw her at Worlds, generally, whenever we saw Sol, we also saw a Hunter alongside her, and she would be running the dual lane or the mid, depending.
For this, I feel like Epiphany Bolt is playing Season 2 meta. I mean, that's just what it looks like. The Athena ban, I think, was good. Ao Kuang ban was necessary, but the Sol Hun Batz pick seems to me like they're playing from last season. That, however, will guarantee that Sol will not be playing from the Hunter role. Hou Yi will be taking that, and I think that is their first real top-tier pick.
And that's not really a surprise. Chiron versus Hou Yi is something I expect to see a lot of at the start of the season. Both these gods very, very useful, very strong at all stages of the game.
orKs eSports. Final pick in the first phase is going to be Thor. Super simple pick.
I mean, Thor seems to have come down a little bit since his not necessarily nerf but actual correction of his wall, but he's still very, very useful. He's got 2 forms of CC, his ultimate and the wall, that can both burn purification.
So orKs strangely take away Tyr here. I was expecting a Tyr of Vamana to come out. Remember, orKs will have first pick opportunity once the ban phase is over.
Maybe they'll look for Vamana themselves now at this stage, because they are going to be the first pick.
Well, we're going to find out. orKs, 1 more ban. It's going to be Amir. Epiphany Bolt, final ban of this game. Who do they? I mean, it's got to be Vamana. No, it's going to be Janice. This should be the Vamana pick.
We'll see. I mean, orKs have the opportunity here. I like the ban that they did on Ymir there, because Geb can shield it away, but let's take the extra CC off the table, make them go deeper in their god pull in the support role.
Raw. Going to be locked in. A character who actually is pretty decent right now in the meta, has a lot of healing, CC immunity on the ult on a very low cooldown, augments the fact that Beats has been significantly nerfed, allowing him to be a bit more safe than he would, and going up against the Hun Batz is going to be very hard for them to burst this Raw down if you build into something like Hide of the Urchin.
Are you running them in the mid lane, though, or are you running them in the solo lane this Raw? Especially with, like, not hitting level 2 before you get to lane, technically?
It's a flex pick.
It's a flex pick? Okay, we'll see where it ends up with orKs, but you see Sobek locked in for Epiphany Bolt here as well, and they're also going to pick up Bellona, so Vamana's still on the table here for a potential for orKs to pick this one up.
Final pick of the game. orKs likely looking for their solo laner, although they could be looking for mid if they decide to put Ra over in the right. Who are they going to grab?
A lot of options available to them. It's the start of the season as well, so nothing is absolutely terrible other than Ratatoska.
No, man.
You don't feel?
Dude, Divios has been bodying me.
Well, talk about bodying. Hebo has just been locked in, and if he gets going, he can really body people, but he can be shut down quite easily.
It's a squishy comp.
It is very... Well, they've got a lot of sustain, though. They've got Chiron that can sustain the team as well as Ra.
Right, and then Geb Shield is probably the most valuable move, single move, non-ultimate in the game currently.
We've also got Sobek here. He's got anti-healing online as well. Will we see a curse come online?
Yes.
But did you do it at the beginning of the game? Did you get curse?
Yes, we will. I would imagine Sobek's going to leave the base, or Bellona will leave the base with curse. People really underestimating level 12 teleport.
That's very true. Straight online, 12, bing, into a team fight, especially from a solo laner as well, who's technically getting ahead of the rest of the team in terms of that farm.
So yeah, Bellona actually leaving the base with it.
It's
going to be Sobek grabbing sprint, Habwa grabbing nothing. Now, what equality's looking to do here is by not picking up an active this early on, if he even decides to continue on this route, he still has a few seconds to leave the base safely. What this will do is, if he needs to back and get the teleport, he can. If he can make it to endgame without having to buy it, he can get Beats Aegis or Beats Frenzy. You can actually see, no, he's going to go for the Beats here. So 4 sets of Purification, not Beats. They're not...
I said Purification. Did I call it Beats?
No, I did.
I know you did. I called it Purification the first time. We do see 2 sprints on the supports, though, and I think support with sprint is very, very valuable at the beginning of the game.
I'm not even on
the slows, get you out of bad
I'm just on talking about how it's Purification after 3 years.
Well, it's curse as well. It's not even weakening curse.
I really feel like Scott Zier hates me.
I think so, too. What do you think about Sanctuary?
I like that one, actually.
You like that one?
I like that
one. You going to remember that one?
I'm on board with Sanctuary.
So, start the game. Let's see where everyone's going to go. Because Epiphany on the right-hand side here, you can see they're looking for those right-hand harpies at the moment. But there is deep wards down on that side, so orKs know what's going on.
We're going to get a contest here. It looks like, yeah, I mean, Habwa doesn't want to fight into Bellona. No one wants to fight into Bellona. Although he gets some free damage off. For some reason, Hun Batz is just, like, not around.
Well, here we go. Here's the contest between the two. More poke onto the
big.
Bellona. Good bludgeon damage there. And there's a curse as well. Overhand smash comes out too. Still looking for the first blood onto equality. He's in a little bit of an awkward spot. But Bellona's going to be the first casualty. And it looks like Hun Batz is going to bravely run away. But where to?
There's nowhere to go. I mean, Bellona completely overcommitted. Once she got her decent damage off, she should have backed off. That is a Thor with 2 procs on his passive, plus a red pot. You cannot allow him to just run freely into your health bar.
You cannot give Hebo 2 kills at the beginning of the game either.
Oh, did it?
He got both.
Both went to Habwa.
He got both. They chased him and Thor did a good job of keeping the damage up there.
By the way, please excuse the casters. His name is Habwa.
Hebo.
He has been out of the meta for so long that we just started calling him Hebo because it's easier. It's Hebo.
I'm English. He's Hebo. That's the way it's going to be called.
You are
forever.
American.
No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be, ever. So now equality is going to come to lane with a great advantage here. Level 2 already. Bellona's still level 1 and going to have a bit of a rough time at the beginning, but it is still Bellona after all.
That's true. I mean, her clear is still very safe. The issue is once Habwa gets to level 5, much earlier. Oh my god, he's putting in so much work right now.
It's so much poke damage that you can get onto a Bellona, though, in this match when you think about it. Bellona's going to be in that minion wave with the bludgeon. I expected to maybe max Scourge here to clear a bit safer.
I don't think so, man. I don't think she can afford to, because if she goes for the Scourge and she gets knocked up, like, he's just going to blast her. Also, she should have let them into the tower. Look at how much damage she took here. I think equality is already somehow in Axioz's head.
Well, she still has the blue buff available to be taken here, but Hun Batz iSilenced rotating towards mid lane already. Didn't get the experience for that. He went to the mid laner instead. And mid laners this season, we've discussed this off air, me and UDM, that we feel mid laners are going to be very, very pivotal in this season.
Same thing for solo, though. I mean, not getting experience for mids, not getting experience for the blue, missing creeps in lane. I mean, you'll see he's barely about to hit level 3 here. I think it'll require all 3 creeps. No, okay, just barely got that before the last one. But he's not going to hit 4 off this wave. Habwa already getting very close to 5 and tier 2 boots online. There's no escape chance anymore for Bellona as well.
We check into the dual lane for the first time. See the Hunter build differential there. You can see, obviously, Death's Toll boots online for the Hou Yi with some extra potions. Meanwhile, Transcendent Star is what Chiron wants. He likes to use those abilities, not just for the damage of clearing the wave, but also for the sustain.
Fire Elementals cleared, looks like by the blue team. You'll see Epiphany Bolt actually
is that what they're called?
Boars, Fire Elementals.
Is that what we're calling them?
Little baby Fire
imps.
Elementals.
That's what I thought they were.
Imps.
They just look like imps.
They are imps.
They're imps.
They're imps. Sure.
You can see a gold lead because of that first blood, but good pluck, a nice knock up. Chiron, though, did get away, didn't get hit by that ricochet, unfortunately, so pressure is relieved on Epiphany, but right-hand side, under the tower, the curse is amazing, no! I think the minions will trade that back, no!
Oh, just barely getting out of that one. I actually thought that Habwa was caught there. His beads weren't online just yet. I thought he was going to try to use the beads, but it was a good curse. Unfortunately for Bellona, another one fallen, and Habwa with 3 kills at 3 minutes.
Do you abandon the solo laner here? Do we not see Hun Batz go over there anymore? Do we just see him focus on getting mid lane ahead?
I mean, it's Bellona. She has to be able to fend for herself, or there's no reason to pick her.
But at the same time, it's Hebo. It's really easy to gank him for the most part with a Hun Batz, but fear no evil. You should be able to close him down.
I don't know, man. I mean, do you reckon that you want to run over to the solo lane and deal with a fed Habwa?
I'd rather stop him getting more fed. I mean that's
really, that's not up to the Hun Batz at this point, in my eyes. That's up to the Bellona. I mean, you're Bellona.
There is a benefit though. There's no Doom Orb online right now, but this rotation towards mid lane here after the Harpies, they're not going to find anything there, unfortunately.
What was that, Heavenly?
And right Harpies are available, so we may see a fight here.
They're going to go for it. Sobek should have an opportunity here to go for the fling. It's very smart of them just to hold this. Hun Batz coming around the backside. Ra's going to be in trouble. Flung. Got the beats too early. Hun Batz jumps in. Here comes the ultimate if they need it. No, does he not have it?
The shield from Gevy not have it? A second, but Sobek secures the kill, Panther. Meanwhile, Thor dunks down, looking for the pick on Hun Batz, but Fear No Evil comes out. Overhand smash, but the Harpies help out, and Thor gets the kill. Meanwhile, on the backside, Bellona gets Hebo.
It's so far going to be a 2-for-1 trade, possibly 3. Perfect double tap. XLoyd going to find himself credited with a double, and a 2-for-2 trade off the back of a missed Hun Batz ultimate. They tried to be, I guess, thrifty.
Well, the first thing is, the purification from Ra was very, very late. He did it too late, and the pluck still went through, so beads were wasted. Well, purification was wasted, and then after that, the fight continued. Hebo rotated in. Hebo dies, and Bellona gets the kill. He gets the shutdown credit.
Which I think is very important at this stage. I mean, looking at the gold, there's now only a 400 gold difference between the solo laners, and as a result, only about 600 gold between the two teams. XLoyd trying to clear up. Oh, that was a little bit risky. Can Habwa get here in time?
Nice
Bludgeon's good. One shot will do it, and he finds another.
Very, very well played there by Axioz in this solo lane. He's been up against it since the beginning of the game because of the double kill to Hebo, but coming back into it strong here, finding that kill on Thor really helps him out. And Thor as well was 2-0 and 2 just then before that.
So that's 2 pretty decent amounts of shutdown that Bellona just
So that caught him right back up again to where he should be at this stage of the game.
Taking a look at the experience, he's about halfway through level 7. Equality at this point, he can't be any farther ahead. Bellona's about 1 to 1.5 creeps worth of experience away from 8. Let's check in with the Habwa.
Yeah, let's see how Hardboy is doing here. But the one thing to be clear, it's very lucky he didn't go for Doom Orb at the start, because this could be the worst game for Bellona here. He went for the penetration boots instead of the mobility, which is understandable. But that poke damage is heavy. He's thinking about it.
He didn't go?
I think he's worried about a rotation, because look what's coming across the map right now. Hun Batz and Sol realizing he needs help.
He sees it now, but it might be too late. They're jumping in.
Saw it. He did not see it. Oh, he went for the kill. Doesn't find it. He's still going to try and find it under the tower. Can he get one in hand off? Nope. He's going to get deleted.
Absolutely gorgeous. And even though he does get picked off, I mean, the way that Axioz played that, he baited it backwards and then used the dash in to block the only option.
Thor just went up.
Wait, Thor's coming?
Is he going towards the blue or towards the Hun Batz? That's the question. He's going for the Hun Batz. Great purification. Instant response from the Hun Batz to get out of danger.
He'll be able to save himself as well. Sacred Monkey to help clear some experience off. Bellona coming back to the lane. No teleport still at level 8. But so far, I mean, that was basically an even trade. If anything, I think I would favor Epiphany Bolt on that one, if only for the fact that orKs actually got some free experience in the mid lane for the Ra.
Yeah, Harpies on the left-hand side are due to spawn very, very soon, though, and you can see that Sobek is hanging around here. Ra wants to contest these ones at the moment. He should have a better time of trying to steal these ones away. Potentially even lose the snipe if he wants to. I think that's what he may look for here. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. No, it was off target, Diem. It was off target.
Oh, that was a wasted Stellar Burst. I'm very surprised that we didn't see Red just burst into that
fight.
Thor,
though, he's swinging around from mid lane here. Should get spotted by the creep line as he actually is trying to zone them off from getting in these. Harpies finally do go, though, the way of orKs here.
It seems to me like orKs is lacking a bit in terms of communication and trust. Right there, Geb had a great play, and it took Ra a pretty long time to commit to the fight the way that he should have. I wonder if that was miscommunication, or perhaps Ra just has some nerves going on where he's afraid to fight into Epiphany Bolt.
You're right about communication, though, because we saw Hun Batz and Sol manage to rotate all the way to solo lane and gank the Hebo there as well, put the pressure on there, and there was no real call from the team because Habwa did not recognize it and stayed in lane deep.
That's true. Decent damage again. I think he's leveling Mjolnir's attunement when you're swinging at half health at that point.
Of course he is. There we go. Fully maxed already. And Lloyd still hanging around here looking to help out the Hebo. But left-hand side, we got a solo lane kill there. A 1v1 between the Hunters, but it traded out in the end as Thor comes crashing down looking for the kill. Fear No Evil connects. Purification was a little bit late, but he should be okay with that wall now to buy himself a second to escape.
Good slow. Was it enough? No, not quite.
He missed
Axioz now trying to fight in, but beautiful use of Alice of the Yellow River. The issue, Sobek's here. Another issue, Gibbs here. Gets the shield on, should be able to keep him safe, but Mana's gone.
Well,
There's no
Bellona may
mana
go
left.
down, but there's no mana left, and the bludgeon comes crashing down from Bellona to secure Habois. And Geb's now going to walk away. Ra was not even involved.
That's another rotation from the Soul that Ra was late to. You can see Dekest, Stellar Burst, big
Snipe.
shot. Good
Right
ultimate as well. Ra heal's going to shut this one down, though. She's got to get out.
She gets some good poke damage off, though. She was really looking for the kill onto Geb there, but didn't find the ultimate. She can put some pressure on the tower, but quickly just limps back away, realizing there's no more teammates with her.
Why did she back off instead of doing tower damage?
I think she was a little bit worried about potential rotation from somebody else, but I'm not sure where.
Well, they should have had an understanding of where everyone was in the map at that point. Thor was in the base guaranteed. Everyone else had backed. She really didn't have any pressure. With Chiron on the map, she could have gotten some damage off. And again, this looks like maybe a lack of communication, but this time on the side of Epiphany Bolt.
Well, we head over to the Hunter lane here, and we didn't see the kill that happened in this lane, but they actually traded 1-for-1, so minions got involved in this one for sure. Chiron died first, and Hou Yi died in response.
So Habois going into a soul trap here, likely to be a Book of Thoth in favor over the Doom Orb.
Well, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I guess the one kill that was dropped so far that he should have had was a result of him running out of mana. But
Diem Orb gives you mana too, right? You get mana regen, but talk about this. Right hand side again, Fear No Evil, Purification, ult used defensively. The ultimate comes off with the Eagles rally, tanking the tower and the curse, but they're not committing still. I'm not sure why Hun Batz chose not to get involved.
Yeah, Bellona had at least 4 more proper hits from that tower before she would have been in trouble, and that's including the one knock-up that Habois could have done from that range. We really should have saw Hun Batz go for the kill there, and again, lack of trust.
Still hanging around here is the Hun Batz for the time being, while on the left-hand side you can see orKs looking potentially towards the Gulf here, a gank onto the Hou Yi, but with Sobek in lane, going to be very difficult to find.
Yeah, they have to be, they're finally going for it. Perfect knock-up, however. She's in trouble. She should take one more.
Very well
time
played.
She did it.
Very
That's
well
what
played.
we're looking for.
Perfectly played, but in the mid lane now, the Dunk comes down looking for the pick on Sol, but immediately uses a 3 to get away, but a wall was perfectly timed. Plucked from Sobek will get the Sol out of danger, and the slow should buy her an extra second too to keep Geb off her tracks as well. 8-8 is the scoreline. This game is good, Diem.
I mean, look at the experience in gold. There's 1,600 experience, not that big of a deal at 10 minutes. Gold difference 200. I mean, that buys you a couple wards.
Hou Yi trying to defend this Gold Fury now as Bellona comes rushing in with a sprint as well. Gold Fury goes away with Epiphany Bolt. The secure from Hou Yi is good enough, and he also gets a kill. Still going strong, looking for more.
And now we have an actual lead. For some reason, orKs decided not to reset and take the fight that they have crafted so perfectly. They tried to burst down the Gold Fury, but they didn't find it. It goes to Epiphany Bolt, plus a kill onto the Hunter, and then boom, 3,000 experience, almost 2,000 golds, and Red takes the lead.
Where was Ra's ult there? That was my question, because Ra should be the best person to secure that Gold Fury more than anybody else in this team. They have the Habois as well, but
anyone else in the game.
Yeah, well, Habois, I guess, could secure it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to throw Crushing Wave at a Gold Fury.
You throw out Ra ults all the time. Hou Yi takes a double tap, backs away. They try to pressure the tier 1, get a little bit of poke on it, but not enough to write home about.
Right side, camps going the way of blue, and all of a sudden, Red's lead starting to shrink away. Habois was real fed at the beginning of this game. You see almost a 1,500 gold lead as it spikes all the way back up to 2,000 now in favor of blue. Epiphany Bolt has not only fought back beautifully, but somehow Axioz has taken the lead over Habois.
And the funny thing is, we mentioned about whether Hun Batz should gank this lane. Well, he has been. You thought maybe not. He should be focusing elsewhere, but Bellona and Hun Batz combining, and the rest of orKs haven't made anything happen on the rest of the map.
Habois, strangely, not only finishes up this Book of Thoth, instead of going for the Doom Orb, which is so much more cost efficient, but has gone into Blink now. This is pure aggression.
Pure aggression. No teleport online, so he's going to have to rotate just using the Atlas of the Yellow River to get over there.
No Aegis, or rather Sanctuary, which means if he does Crushing Wave in, he's not getting out.
He's going to have to full commit the whole time. But to be fair, his fights have been pretty good. He's done very well at duking out abilities for the most part and keeping himself alive to get more damage out. If you can continue doing that, it will help.
All the while here, Soul still no deaths, full Doom Orb, Pen Boots online. And I imagine has a decent amount of gold to be spent pretty soon as well. Next item I would assume is some form of spear.
Well, both Hunters have hit level 12 already, but neither of them electing to go into a second relic just yet. They're both holding on to that Diem.
Nope.
Is there a reason?
Sanctuary.
Tell a lie. He's just well, he's level 13 now, but Chiron also level 12. Still hasn't picked one up either.
Well, as soon as he goes back to the base, I'm assuming it's either going to be Sanctuary or Sprint. They already have one Sprint online with the support. I imagine it'll be another one, just because I feel like Chiron has a built-in Sanctuary with his ultimate, which can be used after he commits fully to the fight. At the same time, though, he might want to stay a little bit safer. There's not really another hyper carry on the team aside from Hou Yi, and since he doesn't have the Sanctuary, someone's going to have to do some baiting.
Well, Geb's still looking for level 12 right now, and he's really going to want that for the blink so he can start initiating these fights and not having to rely on Thor. This seems to be the game plan from orKs here. Use Thor for the early game until we get Geb to level 12, and then he can start the initiations after that with the potential blinks. I think that's the way we should see this go.
9-8 right now. Epiphany Bolt still with a small lead thanks to the Gold Fury fight. Right side, Hou Yi maintains the defensive pressure that he needs to just continue getting to the end game. He shouldn't be taking fights. He should be sitting back and making sure that he's not getting picked off the way that he has been.
Because he's Sol hovering on this side again, looking for potential pressure with the Gold Fury being down, but he did step on a ward, so not going to find anything there for himself, so just continuing to keep Hou Yi pinned under the tower.
See, if this was 3 minutes, it would have been a good idea to strip those away by going for the denial, right? But in this sense, it's better for Bellona to get those cleared up with the Soul and just start rotating around the map. The issue is, where does she plan on rotating to?
Well, she was looking towards mid lane and the blue buff, but blue buff currently down at the moment. She's hovering around this mid lane. They're looking to try and pressure this still Epiphany Bolt, but without Hou Yi here, bringing down the tower is going to be a little bit difficult.
Blue buff just spawned. Perfect timing from Axioz. We're going to see Lloyd maybe make a defense here, but I think he's got to let this one go.
Ra and Geb still in the mid lane, trying to get around to position here as Thor does get the single tap off, and Sol zones out He-Both around the side as well. The buff is still slowly falling. It's taking a long time to bring down this one. They do get it, but Geb is initiated.
Perfect combo, and we're going to see Silence fall down real quick off a 2 ultimate bring. That's going to be both junglers, actually, as Axioz continues to try to fight through. He's low on mana, he's low in health, but it looks like Aiurz should be able to keep this one safe for now. The blue buff will go to the blue team, but a 1-for-1 trade keeps the fight even.
Well, they did get the Harpies off the back of it as well, so it's not terrible for the blue team there. They looked for the opportunity, they found it, but I don't think the fight was necessarily the best one.
You know, I think that's the second time a fight has been maybe thrown by the blue side due to a Hun Batz ult that was just way too late. I mean, by the time he threw that Hun Batz ult, Thor had already been channeling his ultimate for about 3/4 of a second. At that point, you should have enough reaction time to be able to shut that out of your mind, but he panicked.
Chiron left-hand side may need to panic in a second because he's going to potentially been a lot of pressure here. Plucked already.
His dash is down.
He doesn't have his dash to get away either. Nobody's around. Good rotation back to the lane, and lack of wall coverage from the orKs.
He actually lost his dash to the tail whip. It was perfectly timed by DeathPanter. And as a result, they're going to pick off the Hunter right as the Gold Fury is about to spawn. This is a perfect opportunity for Epiphany Bolt to shut down this fight. And did she get that?
She got the ward and actually gets out and puts some poke pressure on too. Trades evenly overall in terms of health there. But quick sentry in response from Lloyd keeps that position controlled by the orKs for now. But Hou Yi looking for the red.
Oh, actually, no. He's looking for the red
Ricochet.
team.
What
the hell?
There's no... Oh my god, he's going in! Great shield from
Geb.
Geb, though. Actually, no, not great shield. I hated that.
I
wanted to die.
That was awesome.
That was really impressive, actually. From Jojo just went in. He was feeling himself, and he got everything off as well.
That was a wasted raw ult there. He tried to steal away the blue. Now they have no confirmation. All Geb can do here is try to be just obstructive. And at this point, I don't see him doing it.
He's got to keep him busy so He-Bo can get over here at the moment. But the Gold Fury's still below half health already. Geb very low. Cataclysm comes off. Good knock up. Buying himself another second for the shield to come back up. But no, not available. Gold Fury resets, and Hou Yi is now here.
Hou Yi coming in deep. He doesn't get the knockup. Oh, he's looking for the crushing wave. He's saving it for so long, trying to get the Gold Fury. He's actually going to find a kill in the background, and orKs do manage to take the gold. They didn't reset it on the side of blue. Hou Yi trying to dodge.
No, he missed the knock-up, and that's what ended his life there. Hou Yi made the play that needed to happen. orKs get the Gold Fury, but Epiphany, they've got a bit of an advantage. Well, I was going to say they've got a bit of an advantage because Ra's going to base here, but I don't think they've got the wave clear for the mid.
I don't know, man. Soul?
Enough damage from the tower, do you reckon, from that health?
I want to see Sobek take the first couple shots here. No, they're going to pop Heavenly. That's going to make Thor back up.
Oh, good wall.
Yeah, there's nothing they could do there. They more than have enough.
They do now, that's for sure. They will take down that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. 13-10 is the scoreline. Golden experience lead. Let's check in. Take into account the gold Fury did go to the orcs, but still, there's a good lead for Epiphany Bolt.
That's true. I mean, they lost some gold there, as you can see, a pretty sharp spike down, but the experience difference remains largely the same. 5,200 with no level 20s on the board is starting to peel away. You have levels almost across the board in advantage of Epiphany Bolt, and most notably to me still is Axioz over equality, given the fact that he was down 0-3 to start the game.
So first look at some of these actives this season as well. Thor taking the shell here to go with his purification, I believe.
Okay.
And across the way, it looks like a blink online for the Hun Batz, as you'd expect. Get with blink and sprint. Shell for Sobek to go alongside the sprint there as well.
You'll notice here, orKs do not have a lot of auras. They have sprint and they have shell. There's no weakening, there's no frenzy. They don't rely on a lot of these team control.
Oh no, they're looking for Hebo, but Thor is in the sky as well. Oh my god, the turnaround damage from Hub War, and the Thor dunk secures it. Good wall to stop the bludgeon, and now it's Bellona that's in a bit of trouble here. Still has the ultimate though.
Oh, that's true. She could bait really, really well here. You're going to see Thor try to jump away in just a second. Oh, that was it right there. She didn't go for it.
Shell was popped, though, by the Thor to reduce the bludgeon damage, but now rotation, blink, Cataclysm, she walks into it, Bellona in trouble. Snipe connects, but the shield of the Bulwark saves the day.
Bulwark is very, very strong. However, so is Soul. She doesn't even need mana. Oh,
stunned!
No.
Thor falls down to Bellona too.
She gets the stun. He teleported into the trail of her corporeal form transformation. As a result, stuns himself, takes a huge chunk of damage, and falls. I mean, you don't even want to call it a misplay. It's just an accident that happened. Like, that's so hard to see.
You can't help it sometimes. You just end up in a bad situation. Left-hand side, though, Chiron has a bit of free farm here. Should get a tier 1 tower down for orcs to close the gold gap a little bit more once again.
Uh-oh. Hou Yi's chasing this. You saw the jump already used. I don't
know
know
how
if he has enough movement to catch
Woo!
this beautiful stun, however. Does he go for it completely? Yeah, he's going to actually cut the path off. Fighting inside the creeps now.
The minions are actually really helping out a lot. Hey, popping the ult early, but the Sanctuary in response will ignore the damage. Ricochet connects, but Sanctuary in response from Chiron. Dunks down, looks for it, finds the kill. Well played by Hou Yi.
I think both hunters did a really good job there. I think the one thing that really traded away was, for some reason, Alvita threw his ultimate out in such an early way. He should have saved it as the execute, resurrecting himself. Yeah. I think he would have had a better opportunity to win that fight. But, Jojo was able to just completely control his path from the very beginning of the dash all the way through.
Red buff did fall down there in the favor of Epiphany Bolt, and Thor used the ultimate in response. Purification beads were wasted there.
They just left Bellona and Soul.
Well, they only got a tier 1 top, but they're not going to get a tier 2 here as well. They've not got the time, because if they stay too long, they're going to be in trouble.
Trade it. No, they're going to back off. They're actually going right for Soul, it seems. She dodges beautifully and again stuns the teleport right as he comes in. A little bit of timing, I think, in favor of Soul. That wasn't as lucky as I think the first one was. I think she meant to do something very similar. She covered that option well, even when she knew this time that it was coming.
Well, that pressure from Epiphany in the right-hand lane allowed Hou Yi, in response to getting that kill, to take down the tier 1 tower and even things up on the left-hand side of the map. Epiphany, though, still continuing to pressure this right-hand side. Keep an eye on Sobek.
This is beautiful. They're able to take it down. Blink in from Habwa.
Sanctuary already popped, though, as well from the Sol. The ult used defensively,
beautiful.
But walks into the stun and takes the burn damage, too, with it. And now Epiphany continue to pressure.
For me, that was 100% Soul. The way she positioned herself so far away from Habwa while not also running into the other members of the red team ensured that Habwa wasn't going to have an escape there. Habwa had to use his ultimate to get away from Bellona, and he does it by jumping directly into Soul.
Gold Fury due up in about 30 seconds time as well, as the jungles attempt to be stripped away here by Epiphany Bolt, but the blue buff was secured for orcs for the time being. As the Gold Fury, like I said, due to spawn, so keep an eye on bases for sentries.
This is something I think we're going to see for probably another week or two before this trades away. The blue buff being left on the ground is happening on both sides of the map from almost every team that I'm watching, whether it's scrims or not. Junglers are still not, they don't have it in their head that, oh, I should take that. I'm not going to get speed.
Because my solo lane is also not going to be there as well to pick it up, so it's just a wasted buff on the ground. That buff was left, and now time's out. Habwa was dead. There was no opportunity for him to go and pick that one up.
Speaking of Habwa, going into Enchanted Trinket here,
Polynomicon.
Assuming that it's going to be Poly, yeah.
It has to be. I mean, what's the other option, really, from that?
Divine Ruin?
But he's the team with the healers. There's no real healers on the other side, really, that I'm worried
Soul, and at that point, if you're stopping Soul from healing, you're basically just killing her anyway.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess she should be bursting it down. But she is 4-0 and 6 so far in this mid lane. Full Doomer. Book of Toth was the next time she went for after that Void Stone as well. Sold the Vampiric Shroud for that. It's a lot of stacking damage too.
She's at 460 damage. It's going down a little bit, of course, as the heat starts to fall off.
As time goes on, though, Diem, I think we're going to stop saying mages have a lot of damage because everybody knows that by now. At least in this meta.
It's still catching me off guard, and this is actually what I like about this current meta, is that mages are hitting for so much. This is how it should be in my eyes.
Talk about hitting. Geb comes in here with a rollout, but it's Bellona that's getting the hitting off with the bludgeon and the curse onto Raw. On the backside, though, Hou Yi in a world of hurt here, trying to get sniped. It does by the Chiron, but now Chiron, no ultimate available. Sobek can't really chase this down, just slowing the Geb. That seems to be the pick now, as Thor has used his ult defensively to get out of this fight. Geb is surrounded.
Yeah, strange that Thor would go so deep. He's leaving Geb to his own devices. Perfect stun, gonna give away 4, but a beautiful Eagles rally gonna get away 2. She's also gonna continue the chase. Stellar Burst leaves him at one hit. Hun Batz looking for the Sacred Monkey. No, goes for the overhand smash and doesn't find it.
Doesn't find it, but the Gold Fury is still available. Hubwar, though, on the right-hand side did strip away the blue buff while he was over there and trying to put a little bit of pressure on mid lane. He does have his ultimate available, should know the Gold Fury is under threat, but it doesn't look like he's interested.
No, it feels to me like he knows that fight is over. I mean, even with his ultimate doing as much damage as it can, I don't think it's super safe. Beautiful control there by the red team, but unfortunately it won't be enough. The Gold Fury, it looks like it's still available, finally going to blue.
They did reset it though, because Ra was looking for the snipe. Ra trying to stay in his heal and sustain, looking for the help from Chiron, and at the moment it's the monkey that's in trouble here. Is there the execute shot available? Yes, but he's only as slow, it's not enough to find the kill.
Thor's going to go up. He's going to guarantee this one. Hun Batz ult gets used. Sobek's in here in a bad spot. Yeah, very smart to get out of there as soon as possible.
Oh, they're looking for Bellona now on the backside. Bludgeon connects, as does the wall, however. And with Hubwar there, they're going to back away. And Chiron pressure in mid.
Very smart. I mean, they see all this pressure happening in the jungle. They know the red team's safe, so Chiron gets a few very key shots into the tower to just whittle it down little by little. This is going to take away some of the more defensive pressure that Epiphany Bolt has been able to use during these engagements.
So we've seen a lot of different builds from the Hunters. Everybody's still trying to find the right thing, and Hou Yi here has gone for the penetration build with the Titan's Bane and the Chins, but there's some crit coming online now as well, Diem.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little bit curious about the crit. Usually, you know, especially...
I mean, 6 is normally like beat stick for healing, reduce healing from the abilities.
Back in 2013, when I would say crit and Chins were like the only 2 builds you can do, and they were both, I think, pretty much equal. The one thing was you don't build both. Right? You don't want to build crit and Chins.
What's the reason you don't do that?
Well, with Chin size, you need penetration to actually give you more damage on it, or attack speed to augment how much you're going to be able to apply it. With crit, you want a lot of crit chance to get big hits.
Oh, that's a big block, and Chiron is going to fall down. Sanctuary, though, buys him a moment's notice, but he's still going to fall down. Hou Yi's still going aggressive here on the left-hand side. Rory's going to fall down to the bludgeon damage, and Sobek, duo team, fear no evil in mid lane onto Geb, and Geb just gets pushed into a wall and gets deleted by the looks of it.
Doesn't get slowed. Shockwave not going to do a lot. For some reason, Aiurz killing Equality, and wow, okay, so it's going to wind up being a 4-for-0 as Thor is pretty much on the wrong side. Hou Yi is backing? No, okay. They're going to give up the tier 2 here in lieu of the Fire Giant. I think that's a good idea.
Good decision there from Epiphany Bolt. They need to make sure to send someone back, though, just in case Thor continues to try and push. But they should burst down quick enough that they can base before he even gets to that Phoenix anyway.
Yeah, so maybe someone should have backed here. Thor's going to get a free push. Soul's going to take the opportunity to go back. Probably not the person I would have expected. I would have liked to see her continue push. They probably could have used her to push down the mid lane tier 2.
Looks like they go for a tier 2 in mid lane here as well off the back of this. They've got minions coming up the mid lane as well. And still respawns are going to be a few more seconds before they're even out of base.
Thor trying to back here. Soul, it looks like, trying to stop him.
Oh, got him. To stop. Okay. Will she continue chasing too hard, though? Thor a little bit low on mana here as well. 118, 123 on those in-hands.
What?
I guess he was baiting and he may just pay with his life. Nope, he will get out, but that's a forced ultimate on Thor, which means they can't defend for a while.
You know, it's funny. You actually see him start walking over there, and then you see Thor's wireframe start to back. If you're in the same position as Soul, you see him through the wall there because he was on the map thanks to the blue creeps. You see that he's backing. She knows she's not going to get there in time. So she's like, I got his ult. I'll get the red. No worries.
Good decision there. 14,000 experience roughly, and just under 6,000 gold here in favor of Epiphany Bolt as this game continues. Jungler builds is another interesting point here as well. We've seen very, very similar jungler builds to last season. We go for an offensive item such as Jotun's into a defensive. However, this time around we see Mantle of Discord, which is something we've not seen. It's new to the season.
Right.
But the Hun Batz here, gone breastplate and bulwark.
Well, I think the breastplate's there to augment the Jote. It's going to give him max cooldown reduction, which of course is what he wants, 40%. And then he goes into the bulwark for defense, and now is going to go into what looks like a Brawler's Beat Stick for a little bit of healing reduction and extra penetration.
Healing reduction
seems good.
Help. It'll definitely help out against the Raw as well if he sticks to that target. Tier 2 tower falls, and now Epiphany Bolt looking to pressure the left-hand lane as a whole team here. They're not pushing in mid, so there's only one lane for the orKs eSports to really have to defend for the time being.
I expect that we're going to see a heavenly pop. If anyone on the orc steps out of position, that sprint still available for Sobek as he looks to go for the pluck.
He could have potentially put Chiron then as well. He got body blocked by Geb, but it wasn't picked up by the team just yet. As Bellona's the one tanking in, putting some decent damage off, forcing the shield on Geb as the Phoenix falls for relatively free.
Mid lane, Phoenix still available. No tier 2s. Oh, Quality looking for the big shot. Hou Batz seems to have cost him a little bit. Oh.
Yep, you could actually, he just stood there and watched it himself. Nobody else saw it, guys. Nobody saw it. I know what you're talking about either. Like, that was on cooldown already, right?
Yeah, man.
Like, before the fight even started. They're going to get a good shockwave off. They're just pushing minions in. The problem is that there's a full minion wave in mid lane. So they're just hanging in here for no reason right now, unless they're going to try and tank this, which I think is very, very risky.
Geb shield coming out. There go the Suns. Thor, one hit from death. Bellona's going to ult for it in the back line. Lots of damage come out. You can see Dekest. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of this one. They've changed, it looks like.
Messy.
They focused on the Hou Batz. Very smart.
Messy fight. And like I said, why are you trying to backdoor this with no minions there? You could have just pushed the minion wave in. Now you're on the forced retreat here. Purification used to avoid the CC that never hit from the Hou Yi, but that knockup was not intended from Geb. I don't think they were looking for the kill there. And instead, Geb's overcommitted now and no reinforcements coming for a second.
Yeah, I feel like DaPeych is playing on a different server than everyone else at this point on his team. Maybe he had too much trust there, but it looked like they were calling back off, and he was just saying, we have to kill them. And honestly, I think I agree with Geb. I mean, that's a Fire Giant team on the run. They should have taken that opportunity.
They should have continued the chase, but they chose not to in the end. And orKs eSports, they keep hold of this tower in mid lane, but not for long, because now you've got a Sol and a Hou Yi about to barrel down as you're trying to base.
And here comes the weakness of Ra. I mean, he could sustain for a while, but he can't actually just run in and face off against a few. Perfect wall, gonna force him into the jungle.
No follow-up though, because the double tap already on cooldown as well. The charge prey gets him out of danger. DeathPanter gonna be okay for the time being. Gonna heal a little bit off the creeps there. Wasn't really trying to take the buff, but now with Hou Yi in tow, he'll go back for it.
Looks like they're going to give this one, to Hou Yi. I think I would have rather seen that onto the Sobek for a little bit more cooldown reduction. You can see, actually, Sobek is actually at 30% at this point. That would have maxed him out.
It would have helped him, but I think giving it Hou Yi allows him to spam his abilities a bit more. No Transcendence as well. He sold that crit item as well. Malice is the choice.
Malice, yeah, very strange.
What would you have chosen?
I mean,
if you're going to go crit, would you go Rage?
Rage?
I mean, but Rage changed a little bit last season, right? The end of the season?
I mean, I guess. I mean, again, maybe I'm just not on board with the crit too much. It seems to me like he's looking for two different builds. The Malice doesn't bring a lot to the chin size Aussie. I mean, 20% crit at this stage of the game is a little bit awkward. It's not giving him the penetration. Still, I mean, I think the biggest deal with this is that you need him to kill the Geb, and Geb has anti-crit built into his kit.
Well, right-hand side, Thor gets forced away from trying to ward up at the Fire Giant as the rest of Epiphany look to take down the Gold Fury here as well. And talking about Hunter builds a little bit more, it's surprising because mages are now in this burst meta of mages being very strong, but then Hunters have reversed from going from burst with crit to go for sustained damage instead.
I like it.
Do you reckon that's just the right call for the Hunters though? Should they not be going for burst 2 to counteract the mages?
I'm just so excited to see chins again. It's
that's true.
One of my favorite items in the game.
It's because you like Carly, that's the only reason. That's the only reason you like it.
Oh, fine. And yeah, Carly's awesome.
Well, Thor jumps back to his hammer there after the pluck from DeathPanter, who took a little bit of poke there. Fire Giant is available and been started here as well by the team. Geb, well aware of what's going on. Thor's now taken to the sky as well, looking for a potential target here. It's on the front side. Nice aggression coming out from Hun Batz with the Fear No Evil. They're looking for the hit pick on Hub 1. They find it. Panther getting the credit, and now it looks like the Epiphany boys are trying to chase him down.
Yeah, DeathPanter getting pretty far here. Nice Sanctuary use right there by the Chiron. Alvita trying to stay alive. Geb getting very low. Doesn't need any crits. He's got those chins to wear him down, but there's a 7-13 right after.
Listen, we spoke about crit, but it paid off twice then. He crit Geb, and he also crit as well onto the Chiron. And now it looks like they should be able to barrel down mid. Is this the end of the game? Is Epiphany Bolt about to take this one and move on to the round of the quarters?
I mean, Hou Batz didn't get his ultimate. He didn't get the damage off. The Polynomicon didn't get activated either. When it came down to it, it was just 100% reliant on burst damage coming out from blue, which they're now turning towards the Titan. Game about to end, and they will move on in relegations. orKs defeated.
For the first week of relegation, so we do get to see orKs potentially again next time as well, next week in the relegations. I like what they had. See, I like some of the early aggression.
They need to go back and watch the 2 towers.
That's true.
That's when the orKs were the strongest. That's when they did. Did you like that joke?
I did.
Okay.
I was trying to ignore it.
Joke.
First Blood coming at you right about now, and it was all at the beginning of the game, and it comes out from the Hobwa, who ended up getting a double kill here, and it was the aggression more than anything. The curse just didn't really make an impact, I feel.
They needed to pick, right? Either commit to the Harpies or commit to the fight, and then when Bellona finally decided to commit, I mean, you see her missing auto attacks, she's getting baited by the Thor, and then at this point, Hun Batz, who was also getting baited by that low health, gets picked off. There was purple pot, it was red pot, and it was too much damage for them to deal with.
That was all the Thor for me, because the Thor got a nice Berserker Barrage off on 2 of them, even with that reduced, passive, it was still made an impact there. And
it's not that reduced.
Yeah, it is.
It's still crazy.
5 damage.
Well, I guess 10,
target.
Right? Yeah, 10 total damage, but
that
it's still 20.
They would have died quicker.
Plus the 20. I mean, he still had 40 damage in that fight compared to the Hun Batz, who had 20.
That's
a lot.
Pretty good. Player of the game is Axioz. 10, 4, and 9 was his tagline in that game. He had a relatively good game on that Bellona. Considering the start he had, he came back strong.
Yeah, I mean, he started off by getting killed at the mid camps, then went on to lane to get basically soloed by the Hobwa, and then came back, had a huge, really good teamwork with the Hun Batz, and look at this kiting. The only thing here is he probably shouldn't be taking the Gold Fury, but it winds up being a really good bait. Equality winds up getting 1, but she's not completely done with this one. Oh, that knockup. That miss.
Yeah. It was a nice little juke around just to get away from that and hear some more plays from him as well. Just continuing the pressure. This is just the beat down that they put on Ra towards the later stages of the game as well. Just keeping him pinned away from the fight so he can't sustain the team. And slowly but surely, Epiphany Bolt just picked him apart.
See, this is such a good play to me because not only do they get these kills, but they forced out a sprint because of Frostbound Hammer. They got the beads off of Ra because of Frostbound Hammer. They're still getting kills all over the map. She saves her ultimate to stop someone from being able to get away. It was just beautiful play.
Beautiful play by Epiphany. They move on to the quarterfinals, I want to say. Is it
yes, we're going. No, semifinals. That was a round of 8.
That was quarterfinals.
Yeah,
oh, we're into the semis already?
Top 4.
Well, let's find out who's in the semis and who we're going to see in the next round as they're pushing for that first spot in Relegations Week 1.
We'll be back in just a minute, guys. Stick around.